What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we've got some brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, what's been going on this week for Destiny 2? Well, on the Tuesday weekly reset, it was a wild day, and that's because it was the launch of Act 2 of Episode Heresy. But some things did not go as intended. First of all, these servers were down for multiple hours, and when they finally went back up, Bungie released some content like a month early. That's right, the Rite of the 9 dungeon event, which was just announced in the Act 2 reveal developer livestream and is supposed to come with Act 3, which launches April 1st. Well, that was kind of in the game. People were able to go into those Rite of the 9 featured dungeons, specifically the Prophecy dungeon, turn it to contest mode, which Prophecy never had, and they were able to get some weapons early. But as you can see, these weapons are very early indeed. They're literally just blocks of texture, and they also had some wild perk combinations. I saw someone with Chill Clip and Incandescent on the same roll. Obviously that is crazy. And of course, people started putting shaders on these blocks and they look absolutely hilarious. So I'm gonna skip ahead a bit to the TWAB because Bungie addresses exactly what is going on with that Rite of the 9 early launch. So they said, yeah, it turns out though their will is their own. As for what happened, we'll keep it short and sweet. Some of the earliest iterations of our Rite of the 9 activities snuck their way into update 8.2.5. Most of what was seen was placeholder. Weapon rewards all featured temporary art and fake perk rolls. The user interface is not what we're planning to ship. And difficulty options don't have the tuning passes that we've planned for Explorer, Eternity, and Ultimatum modes. While this was a fun moment for players to explore and what we're planning, we're very much looking forward to everyone getting their hands on the finished activities. We hope you enjoyed this little unplanned surprise, even if it doesn't represent the whole package. Pardon our dust. As a final note, for all of you who got your hands on weapon rewards early, we won't be removing them from your inventory. When Rite of the 9 ships, perk rolls will be updated across the board to prevent some rule-breaking combinations. For example, Incandescent or Chill Clip on a Void shotgun, but you'll still retain these rewards on launch day. Stay tuned for future announcements on the actual Rite of the 9 launch date. So there you have it. If you happen to get your hands on one of these block weapons, I guess you're gonna keep them, but expect the crazier perk combos to be changed. Now, aside from that debacle, guys, there was a lot of other content that also went live on the Tuesday that was actually supposed to. So first of all, we have the continuation of the seasonal and story content. There's a whole new activity with the Court of Blades, a bunch of new weapons, a whole new vendor that's only available through a secret quest. There's actually a lot going on. Definitely check out my Ultimate Episode Heresy Act 2 guide if you want to know everything you need to know about the continuation of the seasonal content. Aside from that, guys, we also had the launch of Guardian Games 2025 and the brand new Rushdown mode where you go in and try to defeat a group of bosses as fast as possible. Honestly, pretty fun mode. Interestingly, it actually rotates daily on what bosses you actually face, guys. So if you had a hard time one day, you can come back the next day and maybe it'll be a lot easier. So just keep that in mind. And if that all wasn't enough, also on Tuesday, for the first time, the featured Nightfall weapon was the Lotus Eater, a brand new and the first ever Void rocket assisted frame sidearm. This thing is incredible. It can get destabilizing rounds as a rocket assisted frame. It is a crazy desirable weapon. And it's double Nightfall rewards this week. but the Grandmaster is one of the hardest in the entire game with Psyops, Battlegrounds, Cosmodrome. But don't worry guys, I have a complete guide going over some incredible builds, including a Titan build that will literally cheese through the entire strike, like it's insane, and a bunch more tips. Definitely check that video out. It will make the Grandmaster way easier than I think a lot of people expect. But moving on from there guys, let's get to the brand new information within the TWAB. So, first of all, Bungie talks about the Rite of the Nine debacle, which we already went over. Then they talk about how is Act 2 treating you, just talking about some of the new content added on the Tuesday. However, something that caught my eye was that Bungie says there's also a new catalyst for the Barrow Dyad. So originally Bungie said there was 2 catalysts coming in Act 2 and maybe one will come later. Right now, again, we only know about one, and I've done a guide for that secret exotic quest to get that catalyst, which is high impact reserves. Definitely check it out, again, linked right up above. But we were kind of speculating, is there another one currently in the game? But if Bungie is saying there's a catalyst, that would indicate that the one we found is the only one available right now. So definitely some interesting information. But also, very interestingly, they actually say here there's a lot going on in Destiny 2 and there's more to come. Act 3 will be here in less than 3 weeks. There's a new heavy metal PvP game mode coming after, which is the Briggs versus Tanks. And then it's time for Rite of the Nine, a new event that brings a twist to some fan favorite dungeons and their weapon rewards. So I want to point your attention to the wording. During the reveal livestream, they said, oh, Rite of the Nine is coming with Act 3. I kind of assumed that it would launch right on April 1st with the launch of Act 3. But how they're saying it here, like, oh, there's a new heavy metal game mode, and then, like, after it's time for Rite of the Nine, this really makes me think. And also, in the statement where they were talking about it launching early, they said, we'll give you more information on the Rite of the Nine launch date. Again, I was surprised to see that because I thought it was just launching with Act 3. I would say now it's definitely not. Like, it's going to be coming potentially multiple weeks after April 1st, after Act 3 launches. That is what I'm getting from this new wording within the TWAB. Moving on from there, guys, Bungie also talks about upgrading your Guardian game class items. So they say they're actually going to be, with update 8.2.5.1 next Tuesday, upgrading everyone's Guardian games class item to Artifice Armor. Weirdly, mine just has an Artifice slot. I don't know why, but there it is. Then for the PvP tuning preview. Okay, so this is some pretty big news for you PvP players. First of all, snap skating. They say Warlock snap skating is an unintended movement technique that has given players some great advantages in map control and general movement during combat. While this can be enjoyable and fun to master, this presents some rough balance issues with PvP space, not just 3v3 modes, but 6v6 as well. Additionally, this is creating issues with readability of opponents mid-combat. Guardian bodies can become warped and stretched when skating, making it difficult to fight opponents mid-skate. In a future patch, we plan to address this. Then the closing time perk. They say it grants some great stats when your magazine is low, especially when enhanced on special weapons. As players always spawn in with low special ammo, and then they say, for now, wink wink. That's interesting. These stat buffs are almost always on in the Crucible, making various weapons perform a bit too well in 1v1 combat. Zealot's Reward, as an example, can hit some pretty far ranges thanks to this perk and the always-on nature of its functionality. We plan to tune this perk specifically on special weapons in a future patch, so keep that in mind. Closing time, one of the most desirable PvP perks for a lot of weapons right now. Then, hipfire exotics. Tommy's matchbook has become a frequent conversation among our online community, and rightly so. For many years, this weapon has been a bit of a sleeper in terms of the strength of its baseline improved hipfire functionality. With the recent changes to the Radiant Dance machines, we're seeing more hunters pulling this exotic out for some silly hipfire only builds. Like we did with the Dead Man's Tale and the Last Word, we're going to tune this interaction in 8.2.5.1, so the upcoming Tuesday, and we'll have more details in a future weekly update. We will also be re-enabling the Dead Man's Tale and the Last Word to interact with Radiant Dance machines with a much more limited set of buffs that do not increase range but still provide them with some amount of increased accuracy. And then the Radiant Dance machines themselves, they said they have surged in popularity since the rework, but the increased usage has not been unilateral. In fact, we see nearly 3 times the adoption on mouse and keyboard compared to controller. After the recent issue with the Lodestar's hipfire precision aim assist being significantly higher on mouse and keyboard than controller, we dug deeper into the Radiant Dance Machine's setup and realized that the same issue is present, albeit a less significant amount. So in that same patch, guys, on the upcoming Tuesday, we will be normalizing the precision angle threshold bonus provided by the accuracy buff between controller and mouse and keyboard when using Radiant Dance Machines, and have also corrected the issue in a few other places that it could occur. For example, the legacy frame intrinsic on Redrix's S-Stock and the BXR Battler. This will also reduce the ease of getting critical hits when hip firing on mouse and keyboard when paired with one of these items, and should bring the effectiveness more in line with the controller. Okay, so controller players get a free aimbot, but as soon as M&K players get some help, everyone freaks out. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, controller players. Controller players, you have to aim down sights and the game does the rest for you. I'm kidding. All right, moving on from there, map lighting. They say regarding lighting, we've been watching the conversation around our recent Trials of Osiris weekend featuring Solitude. There are a few spaces on the map, doors specifically, where players can feel blinded by exterior lighting. This is true. Like, I played during this weekend, you can't even see enemies outside. You're just getting your retinas singed. So they're going to be doing some fixes for that. Moving on from there, they say they're removing exclusive full screen. We want to share some news today about an update coming to the PC version of Destiny 2 when Codename Frontiers launches later this year. As you can guess by the title of this section, we plan to remove exclusive full screen option in favor of windowed full screen, which will be renamed to full screen then. The windowed and borderless windows options will stay as they are now. The reason for this change is simple. Our technology partners recommended this update as it offers performance that is as good, if not better, than the traditional exclusive full screen option. It also allows for faster alt-tab switching, which we know is a very important for many Destiny players that use third-party tools and websites, and better integration with modern display features. This way we can simplify development and focus on fixes and improvements that matter most. Very interesting change. Moving on from there, we have a winner announcement of the Sundered Doctrine show match. You can see right here. Then guys, we've got Guardian Games Roulette. This is going to be featuring a bunch of different streamers. Here are the team compositions you can see. And then we have some new goodies in the Bungie store, including the new Guardian Games jersey that you can see right here, guys, and some other stuff that you can also see. Then we have Celebrate Women's History Month with us with an exclusive new emblem available right here. You can see all the information. And then we have another Bungie bounty going live soon as well. And so, guys, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.